Putting in from below the dam, there's going to be about 200 to 300 yards of Class 2 boogie water until you get to the underside of the bridge. Once you reach the underside of the bridge, it's going to split into 3 separate channels. Each separate channel is maybe 200 yards long. They're all pretty much equal in difficulty, probably Class 4 or so. We chose to take the left channel. It looked like the more interesting channel, and it also set you up to get over to a left eddy as quickly as possible, because from here there's 2 more rapids until you reach the biggest drop, and it's pretty much non-stop after this, so you're definitely going to want to be able to eddy out before you hit that drop. The middle channel looks like it would go well with a little bit more water. At these levels it was a little bit scrapey, and then the far right channel also looks like it would go well with a little bit more water. You could run it at this level, except you're at the very bottom, you're going to want to go far right. There's a flake that looks like it would be a good booth. However, if you were to hit it at this level, you would definitely dry up off of it, and then you would have no speed for the final hole. Right here, you're going to see Sam starting to drive right to set himself up to move the final hole right here. Immediately start heading left to catch an eddy on the left before it all dumps into the big drop below. This is the drop before the big one. In context, it doesn't look too bad. At this level, you could come far right, kind of hit that kicker and boof off. Or you could kind of come center, sliding your way down that slope. However, if you do run this drop, you're pretty much committed to running the next drop, which is serious Class 5 plus and highly consequential. So make sure that you scout and you're aware, and you definitely want safety on the next drop. Here's the big drop. The line that I see is you're going to kind of cut across the converging currents, starting just right of center, and then you're going to start driving left, come off that kicker just before the piton rock. You're going to end up landing on rock, and that's going to spit you right into the outflow of the hole and hopefully pass. The lead in on this drop is problematic, as well as the fact that there's a big slot on the right and the left has a big undercut. So you're going to want to make sure that you're 100% on line, and you definitely want to have safety for this drop. Following the big drop is the biggest pool, and pretty much the upper half to 3/4 mile, followed by a tricky ledge drop. Here you're going to want to drive right, but not too soon. You're going to dry up and land in the pit. Here you're going to see I tried to drive right too soon, got ejected and spat back into the pit and flipped. Thankfully rolled up and was okay, but it's pretty continuous from here on. Following the ledge drop is a big tongue with a big hole on the right, so you're going to want to angle left coming down, then stay left and skim across the next 2 big sticky holes. Just kind of stay left of center, straight on the tongue. There might be a couple spots where it whites out. It's going to feel like a roller coaster ride in here, and then it's going to calm down for a little bit. When it calms down, it's going to be boogie class 4. Just make sure you don't hang up on anything in here, otherwise you'll be good to go. When you can start to see the normal put in below, that's going to be the final pitch and the crux. You're going to want to stay just left of center here. There's going to be a series of big converging complex waves and holes. Just keep yourself upright through them. There should be a relatively clean line through it. And aim for the center of the rock at the bottom, right here. And just boof or punch right through the hole at the bottom of the rock. As the portage around the big drop isn't usually too feasible, here's basically how we get down to the river and run from just below the big drop typically. Here's a camera view of the last big pitch so you can see just how steep it actually is. The upper sections of it are actually a lot steeper than this is. In all the previous videos, the level of the spillway was 500 CFS, regardless of whether the lower section was 1200 CFS or whether it was 900 CFS. They just bypassed the rest of the water around the spillway. And this particular day, the lower section was 900 CFS, and so they decided to just let 900 CFS right out of the dam and all the way down. It definitely got a whole lot bigger. I would say the big drop was unrunnable. The rest of it was definitely runnable, but definitely marginable, if you will. Definitely big class 5 for sure. So just be on your toes if it's higher than 500 CFS. Another good point to bring up, whether 500 CFS or 900 CFS, is the spillway is mostly made up of blast rock. So everything in here is very, very sharp. There may still be rebar iron in here. I took a look at lower water. We couldn't find any, but it's not to say there isn't any in there. Definitely not a place you want to be upside down or swimming. It's definitely not a step-up river. It's a river that you want to be going on to have fun and, you know, sure that you're going to go on this river and you're going to have a good day, not nervous whether or not you're going to make it down the river. So with that being said, just be aware of your abilities and you should have a good time out there. Following the last lower pitch is the last major drop before the regular put-in. Some people run it, most don't. I'd say it's probably a class 4 plus drop. That being said, there's definitely some nasty places in there, sharp rocks in there, places you don't want to be, a lot of weird flakes in there you don't want to hit that you could piton on. So you definitely want to give it a scout. There's also some rather big holes in there, so just check it out before you run it. There's a couple of different lines. Pretty much all the lines start center. Then one line is you could start cutting right, ride your way across the wave / hole, and all the way into the eddy on the right. Just make sure you get all the way over there. You're going to get stuck in a nasty side surf. Another way is you come right down the center, punch right through, boop over the second hole, be clean. Another possible line at really high levels is come down the right side, and there's a flake all the way on the right you might be able to boop off of. 900 CFS is definitely too low. 1200 you might be able to do it. And then the left side is pretty jumbled. You might be able to sneak your way down the left side, but if you're going to do that, you know, you might as well just put on below the drop to begin with. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here's a little bit of bonus carnage for you.